Oh, hello there. So, like I promised on my X profile, I was in a trade on last week, Friday, the 13th of December. Friday the 13th. I noticed that later on. But the algorithm that I have written around the 2024 mentorship gave me two trades yesterday with my, Friday, I mean, with my life equity. We had one here around 10:30, and we had one at the end of market around 15:30. So let's break it down on what I saw basically um, when we arrived at these times. So let's go to the opening first. And as you see, I already saw like previous day highs and lows, and that we also already started um, from 7 a.m. like the pre-market highs and lows as well. So let's continue. Let's see. I've never used this before, so I always have to figure out how this works. Okay, so we have market open. We have a gap of 180 handles. So according to the 2024 mentorship, this is something that we are able to trade. We like to trade. Um, let's see when first presentation gets here. So we take out a pre-market high, leaving us with more pre-market lows, meaning we are currently in a premium. So first presentation for value gap gets created here right now, but right now it's still red. Red means I cannot trade it according to my algorithm. We're still waiting. And after the how's it called? After 10, um, we get the opening range high and low. So this low to that high. And you see that right now the fair value gap turned green. This means that we have more sell side liquidity to the downside than we have buy side liquidity to the upside. And with several other algorithms like the NDOC bias is bearish, the NWOC bias is in this case, I have no bias on it. But the weekly liquidity bias is also is in agreement with the premium opening range gap, as is the daily bias, the pre-market bias, and the London bias, liquidity bias. So right now, the algorithm has given me a green light to start trading. So let's continue and look, and remember that we are looking for sales currently, according to the NDOC, the NWOC, and the liquidity biases of the previous three daily highs and lows as of the pre-market bias and previous week high and low. So I remember that somewhere here we closed below. Yeah, so we closed below the first presentation, and everything tells us that we should um, go for sell side, meaning that we can place an entry minus one tick below the first presentation and one tick above the fair value gap candle high of the first presentation. And from here, it's actually quite simple. So we have a gap short, we enter, and basically we take off positions at 25%, midpoint, and sadly, we create a ton of equal lows here on the 75%. And you see that I have one contract there, one contract there, one contract there still remaining. The sad part was that we create a lot of equal lows here and we never take it out. So I was like, oh, equal low is nice. We probably take it out during lunch or something like that. But no. Actually, what happens, as you can see, we just continue going up. And eventually we hit my break-even stop loss, I think on the next candle. Yeah, there it is. And the fair value gap turns red again, so that I'm not allowed to trade yet. And why is that? Because something on the lower time frame and the higher time frame doesn't correspond together. So we have to wait. So right now, another 30 minutes of pre-market liquidity has been created. And right now, we see that the gap turned green again. Why? Because there's more sell side liquidity than buy side liquidity according to the algorithm. So we can place an entry right here with a stop loss there again. Same thing. And you see that basically instantly we go to the downside to the end of day. And I close all my orders at 16:14. Because I noticed that that's just for me the best time right now. I'm experimenting with 16:30, but yeah. So that was where the trades that I actually took. And for some reference points, this was that. I'm logged in my AMP Live account. As you can see, sold 6 contracts there, bought one there, bought one there. Break even, exit here, sold 6 contracts here. And then again, I bought at the 16, 15, 14 candle. And that was my live trade of last week, basically. So yeah, I hope you had something, you learned something from this video in regards to potentially all the bias calculations that are happening underneath my 2024 mentorship algorithm. You don't need this algorithm. This is just for myself. You can do this all manually by watching the 2024 mentorship yourself and figuring out how everything works, because everything that's being done here, I got that out of the 2024 mentorship of ICT. So if you have any questions, leave some in the comments, I would say, and I'll talk to you guys next time.